In a faraway land, a young man named Aaron was restless. He had everything: youth, strength, and a loving family. But he felt lost. He longed for meaning, for a purpose that would guide him through life. One day he heard of a wise sage living atop a distant mountain. They said this sage knew the secret to a fulfilled life. Determined, Aaron set out on a journey to seek his wisdom. After weeks of travel, Aaron finally reached the sage's humble hut. The old man, with eyes deep as the ocean, welcomed him with a knowing smile. "Master," Aaron said, bowing respectfully, "I have traveled far to ask you, what is the secret to a meaningful life?" The sage chuckled softly and handed Aaron a small parchment. On it were three questions. 1. What is the most important time? 2. Who is the most important person? 3. What is the most important action? Find the answers, the sage said, and you will find the wisdom you seek. Confused but determined, Aaron left the mountain and began his quest. First encounter: the farmer and the storm. While traveling through a valley, Aaron came upon an old farmer struggling to gather his crops before a storm. The man's frail hands trembled as he tried to save his wheat. Feeling pity, Aaron rushed to help. Together they gathered the crops just as the storm arrived. Afterward, the farmer smiled and said, "Thank you, young man. If not for you, I would have lost everything." As Aaron left, he pondered. Had I kept walking, the farmer would have suffered. Helping him was the right thing to do in that moment. Perhaps the most important time is now. Second encounter: the wounded soldier. A few days later, Aaron found a wounded soldier lying on the roadside. Many travelers ignored him, fearing danger, but Aaron stopped. He cleaned the man's wounds and carried him to a nearby village. The soldier, barely able to speak, grasped Aaron's hand. "I thought I would die alone," he whispered. "You are the only one who stopped." Aaron realized something. Out of all the people he had passed that day, the soldier had been the most important. Perhaps the most important person is the one before you. Third encounter: the enemy in need. As Aaron continued his journey, he reached a village where a notorious thief was caught stealing food. The villagers wanted to punish him, but Aaron saw hunger in the man's eyes. Instead of condemning him, Aaron offered the thief bread. Shocked, the man broke into tears and confessed he had stolen only to feed his starving family. Aaron convinced the villagers to spare him. The thief vowed never to steal again and worked to repay their kindness. Aaron realized something profound. He had shown kindness when vengeance was easier. Perhaps the most important action is kindness. Aaron returned to the sage, his heart lighter than before. He bowed and said, "Master, I have found the answers. The most important time is now, because it is the only moment where we can act. The most important person is the one before us, because they are the only ones we can help in that moment. The most important action is kindness, because it changes lives." The sage smiled. "You have found the truth not through my words but through your journey." Aaron, once lost, now carried the wisdom that would guide him for the rest of his life. Life's greatest wisdom isn't found in distant lands or in books, but in the way we treat the present moment, the people around us, and the choices we make.